So, this is Synoptic, and I'm doing a commentary for Empire Total War multiplayer. I play as Austria, and my opponent does as well. Regardless of this, our armies are quite different. As you can see, my opponent is almost all line infantry, whereas I am not. I only have 2 units. We'll go through my units first. I have 7 units of Grenzers, 2 Windbush Jaegers, 2 normal Jaegers, 4 units of Uhlans, a general, 2 Grenadier, and 2 line infantry. Now, my opponent, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He has 8 line infantry, 1 unit of guards, and on this flank he has a mix of light infantry and lancers and heavy, 1 cuirassier, an Uhlan, and a Hungarian hussar, and the exact same thing on his other flank, plus general's bodyguard. So the way he's set up is just inviting me to run into the middle here. The way he's set up his cavalry is about as obvious as it gets. He's just gonna close in on me when I get locked in here. But unfortunately, since it's so obvious, I'm going to use this to my advantage. I'm going to act like I've fallen for this little trap of his. But I'm also gonna set up my favorite thing called stakes. Grenzers can use them, and so can the Jaegers. So I'm setting up this huge perimeter of stakes. So all these cavalry, their plans just got ruined right now. Now while that's happening, I'm going to assault his main line with my long range units. Now this video was taken back when Jaegers had 125 range. So these guys are going to be shown doing nothing, but technically they're going to be shooting. And since this video was done before the patch, it's going to end early. Some of his units will still be in the game, but in the actual game itself they were routing, and so the game ends. Now what happens there is the video will stop, it'll act like it's been paused, and no results will show. So it's going to look a bit awkward, but it'll be pretty obvious that I was the victor at that point, when it does show. So he's going to start coming in now, and at some point he's going to realize, wait a minute, there are stakes there. I think there'll be 2 separate instances where I'll just drag him into the spikes. So now I've moved some of my Grenzers up. He's facing an overwhelming force on this side. There are 3 units of Grenzers against 2 line infantry, but he's relatively strong on the other sides. He's meeting little resistance on his left, and there's a heavy overlap here, a whole bunch of people. I mean, every time I see something like that, I always wish I had artillery to make short work of it. So he tried to charge some of my other units when he saw the stakes, but I saw that coming and maneuvered my Uhlans to attack him. So at this point he has lost his entire right flanking body of cavalry. He still has his left. Now since that's happened, I think he's going to think twice before he tries this nice little plan. And since I'm the attacker here, I have the complete edge. Nothing's happening in his favour so far. And I'm using the Grenzers yet again, who have that firepower which we all love. So he's had his entire right, his right practically collapsed at this point. I've used my Grenadiers to, I sent them really close, but I sent them to throw bombs as well, quite recklessly. I think I'm going to lose a lot of cavalry here. Oh, my horse. Still get the job done. So here's his left. All dead. All routing. You can see all the flags here. One belongs to me, which is a Grenzer. But we've also seen his cavalry finally attack, who have gone through a number of stakes already. So he's got one unit left of cuirassier. Guy's on his own, taking swings. In comes his general here, into the fray. Oh, I appear to have left a lot of my bulk facing the rear. Little micro mistake here. Again, this battle was taken not too far from the release, so everyone's a bit shaky when it comes to the game. Now this is where I think some anomalies happen. Some units are still standing. The ones which aren't moving necessarily are the ones who should be routing. As I said, the patch has pretty much ruined this replay, but you can still see the main plan here. Basically, I charged into his trap, set up my own traps to ruin his plan, and do a full focus assault on his front, which was his strongest body. He had no reserves or anything, just a whole bunch of linemen. And it's a tactic that I used a fair bit in protecting my rear, because I normally like to leave it open to have a full focus attack. Okay, here the game has ended. Technically in the real game it ended, but in the replay it still shows a whole bunch of units who haven't routed, where in the actual game they have. As you can see, I have an overwhelming force, and the losses were minimal, I think. I'd like to think. Still have my main cavalry, my general, and all that. And again, this happened because of my favourite thing, stakes. And another old favourite, which was the Grenzer. I don't use them anymore because they win battles a bit too easy. A lot of people like to use them in their attack builds for obvious reasons. But yeah, good game.